the Councillor's winning streak continue? Find out as Jonathan Hardwick takes on Danny Williams. Plus, a battle for the ages. Johnny Kidd versus Steve Gray in the semi-final of the Golden Grappler tournament.
This is London.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. Introducing first, hailing from Hertford in Hertfordshire, weighing in at 16.5 stone, this is Jonathan Hardwick.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to LDN Capital TV. My name, Mr. TV, John Atkins.
Jack Channer and the LDN life coach, John, David, Bernard, Bruno Chapman.
And fans, we have seen Hardwick wrestle on a couple of occasions over the last 3 or 4 weeks, right here on Capital TV. A man who was formerly an employee of the London Borough Council, as part of a stipulation in order to allow LDN to continue to run professional wrestling events in the borough. He insisted that he was allowed to become an active member on the LDN roster, despite, to the best of our knowledge, having no background whatsoever in wrestling.
In Buckinghamshire, weighing in at 14 stone, 4 pounds, Danny Williams.
That said, despite Hardwick's lack of an athletic background, so to speak, he's actually fared remarkably well in his first 2 matches here on Capital TV. In his debut, he beat the young Kyle Hart Ashmore, and then just over a week ago, he beat William Hill in his second match, both times using a marvellous variation on the jumping pile driver, knocking his opponents cold. He comes into this match 2 for 2, and he is facing the tag team specialist Danny Williams, who himself is making his debut in singles competition here tonight. So as we said, Jonathan Hardwick, the former councillor, 2 for 2, despite no obvious athletic training, and with a 2 for 2 win-loss record. We notice that he has been I think the word is leached onto by that menace to society life coach John, David, Bernard, Bruno Chapman. Chapman clearly can smell success, or he can smell something, and he wants in on the ground floor. Hardwick seemed to be doing okay for himself, but Chapman seemed to see something in him, and they have certainly formed somewhat of an alliance, be it full-time, be it temporary, that remains to be seen. But let's just see exactly what the life coach can add to Jonathan Hardwick's game plan here tonight against the tag team specialist Danny Williams. Hardwick doing very well indeed, a nice lock up there, and just forcing back Williams to the floor. Really overpowered the young Williams. And Jonathan Hardwick, very impressive here in the early going of this contest. And for someone who, to the best of my knowledge, had not wrestled a professional match before 1 month ago, he looks very, very comfortable inside that ring. And I, for one, would be very interested to know exactly who has been giving him training. Certainly seems to have a very sound grasp of traditional amateur-style wrestling. There's your collar and elbow tie-up, reversed into a hammerlock there by Williams. And And a very competent reversal there by Hardwick, but he's brought down and he reaches the ropes, and that again shows ring savvy beyond his known experience. Back into the lockup there. And this really does promise to be a fantastic episode of LDN Capital TV. Oh my, a big chop there. LDN Capital TV right here tonight. Because coming up next, our main event of the evening, the second semi-final of the Golden Grapplers tournament, the winner of which will face Yorgos in the final. Wrestling fans, the battle of two World of Sport legends, Steve Gray and Johnny Kidd. And that is one you will not want to miss, so be sure to stay tuned for that, coming up later in the hour. Well, here we see the life coach making his presence felt, but rather than distract the official, he actually distracted his own man. And Williams took that opportunity well with a baseball slide to Hardwick, knocking him into the third row of fans. And Hardwick, who seemed to have been doing very nicely for himself, thank you very much, now finds himself on the defensive thanks to his new manager, John Chapman. Williams comes off top, gets caught. And Hardwick with what looked to be a choke there. Referee in a good position, and he breaks it on one. And a powerful right hand. And Danny Williams, who so far we have only seen in tag team action here on Capital TV, tagging once, I believe, with Yorgos and rather more regularly with Simon Can, is not faring so well on his singles debut. There's a cover and just a 2 count. And a clubbing right hand to the back of Williams. And Jonathan Hardwick really showing experience beyond his years. Very well poised young athlete.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Hardwick receives his first public warning.
But he receives a public warning for that closed fist, and he's going to have to be careful. He does not want to get disqualified. He has won 2 out of 2 matches so far, and I'm sure he would like to make it 3 out of 3. Backbreaker and a cover gets 2. And John Chapman jumping up and down like a lunatic on the outside. And let's be quite blunt, so far Chapman has brought nothing to the table for Hardwick. Indeed, his distraction caused Hardwick to get a kick into the third row of fans earlier in the match, and now Chapman presumably with the advice for using the closed fist, and there is that splits combination, and that worked a treat because Danny Williams went flying. And you can see Williams there clutching those ribs. And now Chapman hoisted himself up onto the ring apron. And one has to wonder what he's doing up there. Nice twist to the arm by Hardwick. Again showing more fine amateur credentials. Beautiful bridging suplex. And a cover gets 2. And another lateral press and another 2 count. And I, for one, find it very hard to believe that this Jonathan Hardwick has only been wrestling professionally for 1 month. Oh, a big chop there. Blistering chop. Just ringing around the whole building. Knee to the midsection. Picks up Williams for the slam. And a picture-perfect fall-away slam, that is indeed. Rolls over. Looking for another cover. He might get it this time. But just a 2 count, Williams able to kick out. And so far, Jonathan Hardwick, the man who devoted so much of his time these last couple of months to trying to shut down LDN Wrestling, is now making a new home for himself in the roster.
Come on, Mr. Hardwick.
And I might suggest that if he carries on with this winning streak, he'll be finding himself travelling further and further up the ratings. But Williams with a reversal and a fall-away slam, and Jonathan Hardwick lands hard with the full weight of Williams crushing down on his sternum. And that will knock the wind out of you in a hurry. Danny Williams now senses an opportunity to turn things around. Oh, but he gets meat with a clothesline there. And a powerful clothesline just knocks Williams out of his boots. And Hardwick stopping to confer with the life coach. And yet Hardwick had been doing very well so far, but it's for Jack to provide the distraction. And the enormous bodyguard Jack Channer providing the chair there for Jonathan Hardwick, and I don't think it's because he's tired out and wants to take a rest. So far, Jonathan Hardwick has never used an illegal weapon. But if you add the life coach into the mix, and all of a sudden we are seeing a whole new display of tactics from the former counsellor. And this is quite preposterous. This is quite preposterous. Referee Chris Roberts never seen anything like it. And quite frankly, neither have I. Williams up, looking for the atomic drop. Oh, Hardwick tastes chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Williams receives his first public warning for illegal use of the chair.
Well, Danny Williams there getting a public warning. And that can't be right. Oh, but he flips over Jonathan Hardwick. And Hardwick flew across the ring. And when he wakes up, he's got a surprise coming because Williams is charging to the corner. And I think the life coach warned Hardwick what was coming. And Jonathan was able to move out of the way very quickly indeed. Now the life coach is up, he's got something in his hand. But instead his own man hits him. Roll up from Williams and it's a 3 count. And the unbeaten streak of Jonathan Hardwick comes to a very rapid and sudden end. And it's entirely due to that public menace, the life coach, John Chapman. Chapman furious on the outside, but it was his interference that backfired. And indeed, Jack Channer's interference with the chair earlier in the match. But there's no time for Danny Williams to celebrate, because Jack Channer has got him on his shoulders. And I don't believe what I'm seeing. The life coach off the top with a drop kick. That is outrageous. That is absolutely vile. The man is a menace. The man is a public menace. We cannot have managers coming off the top with missile drop kicks. And let's get Jag out of there as well. Danny Williams is in trouble. I would not like to be in his shoes. He picks up the win here tonight over Jonathan Hardwick. But I, for one, wouldn't want to be left alone with Jag, because that is the kind of thing that's going to happen to you. Danny Williams there, the winner. But it's Jonathan Hardwick's winning streak that comes to an end. In no small part thanks to the addition to his stable of John Chapman and Big Jag Channer. Fans, coming up next, the second semi-final of the Golden Grapplers tournament. The battle of two World of Sport legends collide in Spirit Rules, Steve Gray and Johnny Kidd.
is London.
Are you sure you're ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, main event time here tonight on LDN Capital TV, and you join us for what is sure to be a classic matchup. It is the second semi-final in the Golden Grapplers tournament. It will be fought under Spirit rules, 6 5-minute rounds. Making his way to the ring, Johnny Kidd. Fans, this is going to be a clash of two World of Sport legends. Johnny Kidd about to take on his long-time nemesis, Steve Gray. Making his way down to the ring now, there is Steve Gray. And he is looking very well indeed. And I believe he has recently upped his training schedule. He had been semi-retired for a couple of years, but he has come completely out of retirement for the Golden Grapplers tournament.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a second round Golden Grappler match made over traditional British wrestling rules of 6 5-minute rounds, 2 falls, 2 submissions, or a knockout to decide the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, on my left, he hails from Luton in Bedfordshire and weighs in at just under 14 stone. A man trained for the ring by the late, great Ken Joyce. He made his professional debut almost 30 years ago, and was one of the great technical wrestlers of his era. Please welcome Johnny Kidd. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on my right hails from Peckham in London and comes to the ring weighing in at 12.5 stone. Truly one of the all-time greats. The former British welterweight champion, the former British, European and world lightweight champion, Steve Gray.
Well, when you're talking about a man who's done it all in this sport, you are talking about Steve Gray. The man who has been wrestling for longer than most of the fans here have been alive. And he is facing off here tonight against a man very, very similar in style to him, Johnny Kidd.
Round 1.
Johnny Kidd slightly younger, of course, but both men have been wrestling for several decades now. Going back, of course, to the days of World of Sport. And you are going to see some fantastic wrestling here tonight by 2 real masters of the art. This match, of course, the second of 2 semi-finals in the Golden Grappler tournament, the winner of which will face Yorgos in just a few short weeks right here on Capital TV. You will see the conclusion of the tournament only here on Capital TV. It is well worth sticking around for. The matchup being fought under Spirit rules, 6 5-minute rounds, 2 pinfalls or a submission, and there's the early cover. And Johnny Kidd did not see that one coming. I think he might be surprised by just how well Steve Gray can still go. A nice grounded full Nelson there by Johnny Kidd. Pulls back the arms. Gray trying to relieve the pressure. And that is very nearly a surfboard-like maneuver from Johnny Kidd. And there's nowhere Steve Gray can go, but he does flip through. But Kidd gets a cover out of that one. And these 2 men, it's almost like watching a couple of scientists. They know every facet of the sport. every move, counter move, hold and reversal that you can imagine you will see here tonight. And Johnny Kidd, I think, enjoying this challenge. And Steve Gray always keen to prove himself. And in round one of this sort of match, I would have expected to see more of a feeling out process, but these two men, they know each other so well. They're testing each other early. They are looking to get a quick advantage and prove themselves as the dominant wrestler. And so far they are matching each other move for move and hold for hold. And a lovely reversal there from Steve Gray. And Kidd back on his knees once again. Double wrist lock reversed. And that's the way to do it, but Johnny Kidd still flipped over again. And I think Johnny Kidd's starting to get a little bit frustrated. He knows he's on a very, very similar level to Steve Gray. But so far, Steve Gray seems to be getting the better of him. Not quite the cover, you can see the left shoulder is up. Johnny Gray's asking the referee to count, but Steve Gray's shoulder was not down, and that's a good call by Chris Roberts. Gray now just inching his way back to his corner. He is trying to get to the ropes to break that hold, and you can see he is bridging up his back to ensure that his shoulders are not on the floor. And what a beautiful reversal that is. He was using his opponent's momentum against him there. Nice roll up there from Johnny Kidd. Instantly reversed. And Johnny Kidd cannot catch a break. Just like that one kid at school who's always that little bit better than you no matter what you do, is Steve Gray to Johnny Kidd. Abdominal stretch there from Johnny Kidd, really going back to basics. One of the oldest moves in the book, but also one of the most painful. And Kidd might be looking for an early submission. And he just hooked that on. And now right back, and that was very close indeed to a submission. And fortunately for Steve Gray, he was next to the ropes. A Greco-Roman knuckle lock there. And Steve Gray standing on the fingers of Johnny Kidd. And that is uncharacteristically aggressive of Steve Gray. Well, fans, we have seen so much already in this contest, and it's only the first round. I said you were going to see a classic, and my goodness, we are going to see one. Beautiful dropkick there from Johnny Kidd. He could put a man half his age to shame with a move like that. And Steve Gray, no slouch either, with the go behind, rolls him through. There's a cover straight into the ropes. And two men with a great deal of respect for one another indeed. Nice takedown there from Kidd. Just sitting into that knee joint, twisting back the ankle. And Steve Gray looking to hold on. I'm not sure if there's any way out of this move. He might just have to hold on to the end of the round. But he is trying to roll over his body weight. He is very close to the ropes actually now. But there it is, the end of the round. And a clean break from Johnny Kidd and a great display of sportsmanship. Or is it?
I'm Lloyd Ryan, and this is the original Kendo Nagasaki. And you're watching LDN Capital TV on channel 427.
The first round over, neither man scoring a full, both men going back to their corners. And you can see there, Johnny Kidd's corner man, not sure if you can see that on your screen, Johnny Kidd's corner man, if I'm not mistaken, was Danny Garnell, a man who has been all over this tournament. And in fact, Steve Gray's corner man, Mikey Mendoza. Mendoza, of course, was cost his place in the tournament by Danny Garnell, and those two have got a very, very long history. Mendoza actually beat Garnell in a matchup not technically a part of the tournament. However, Mendoza's position in the tournament was at stake. Mendoza beat Garnell, should have gone through to the semi-finals, but he was attacked after the match by Garnell, and where he actually suffered a concussion, keeping him away from LDN for over a month. He received medical clearance to compete only last week here in LDN, and he has got his eyes set, he has got his sights set right on Danny Garnell, the man who took him out of action. And to get to Garnell, he had to go through humongous last week. And let me tell you, that is not an easy matchup to get through. Nonetheless, Mikey Mendoza defeated Humongous in his return contest, and next week he will get his hands on Danny Garnell next week here on Capital TV. But here tonight, they are scouting each other out, if you like. And this is going to be a great learning experience for the two of them, both excellent young wrestlers in their own right, and they are watching two masters of the craft close up. As are you fans here tonight. You have got the best seat in the house for this Spirit Rules matchup. Second round, Steve Gray versus Johnny Kidd, two World of Sport legends, so far matching each other hold for hold. But Steve Gray looking to get that move. And a desperation escape there from Johnny Kidd. But it got the job done. The referee issuing a 10 count, Steve Gray up in plenty of time. But he had his clock run there. Head scissors there from Kidd. Brings Steve Gray down to his knees. But his own shoulders are down on the floor there. He's got to be careful not to get counted down. And Steve Gray again in a very tough position, but he's able to hold on for quite a while. And he is using what I believe to be pure strength to get out of that hold. And in fact, he is twisting Johnny Kidd's leg into a knot. And now Johnny Kidd in a heap of pain. And the only way he can relieve the pressure is by lying down on his shoulders, where he risks getting a pinfall against him. Now that is how to get out of that one. Johnny Kidd, of course, a great sportsman in his own right, but we did see his quarter-final matchup right here on Capital TV a couple of weeks back against Chex Benedict. And Benedict, who made no secret of the fact that he looked up to Johnny Kidd as somewhat of a hero, almost an idol in his youth. Well, Johnny Kidd did not treat Benedict with the same respect. And towards the end of that match, we saw Johnny Kidd become rather more aggressive than we were accustomed to seeing him. But so far tonight, he has not shown any of that mean streak. And instead, he has wrestled well within the rules of the Golden Grappler tournament. Roll up out of nowhere there. Gray rolls through. That might have caught a lesser wrestler out. But Steve Gray is going to take a lot more than that to put him down. Nerve hold there, just pinching the nerves in the shoulder. A very paralyzing move. There's not much you can do when someone is gripping the trapezoid joints beneath the shoulder, just to the side of the neck. There's very little you can do, and indeed, Johnny Kidd has got the cover. Flips over for another lateral press, and I don't think Gray's shoulder was down. The referee wasn't counting. And a roll up there from Kidd, and Steve Gray just too close to the ropes. Steve Gray now finally starting to take Johnny Kidd seriously. Ooh, roll through from Kidd, but he's caught in a double wrist lock. And fortunately for both men, The round ends. And a mutual display of, I'm not sure if that was respect or disrespect there. Nonetheless, neither man willing to give the other the edge, even in between rounds. Gray now back in his corner, catching a breather. And you have to wonder, at his age, I know he can still go, but can he recover as quickly as he used to be able to in his youth? The same must be asked of Johnny Kidd as well, himself no rookie. And what a learning experience this must be for Danny Garnell and Mikey Mendoza. Both of whom the cornermen for these two fantastic wrestlers. And they are experiencing a real masterclass. First up, first hand here tonight on Capital TV. We're in round 3 now, and still no falls have been decided. And Gray whipping Johnny Kidd into the turnbuckle. And Gray seems to have lifted things up again.
2, 3.
But Kidd with a marvellous reversal ducks under the legs of Steve Gray. Leapfrog from Kidd, roll up, gets the shoulders, and he gets the fall.
Ladies and gentlemen, round 3, first fall of the contest to Johnny Kidd.
And that is somewhat of a surprise. Johnny Kidd there going 1 fall up in the 3rd round. And you would think these two men have been wrestling for 3 rounds. You'd think things would be slowing down. But they are only just getting started. What a marvellous display there. Johnny Kidd with a pinfall out of nowhere.
Seconds out, round 4.
It did seem this matchup might have been a stalemate. Whatever move one tried on the other, the opponent always seemed to have a counter for it or a reversal. But Johnny Kidd just used speed and guile to finally put Steve Gray down for a 3. And we go into round 4 now. Johnny Kidd 1 fall up. And Steve Gray knows he's going to have to make that fall up very soon if he wants to stay in the match. Because there is nothing more discouraging than knowing you are a fall down to your opponent. If Steve Gray wants to win this matchup, he needs to score 2 falls consecutively. Johnny Kidd only has to score 1 now. And psychologically, that is a real weight on Steve Gray's mind. And you can see he is trying something very, very special indeed. He is looking to twist back that body of Johnny Kidd. And he has very nearly done it. And there it is, there's the surfboard maneuver. And an instant submission there, an instant submission.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's round 4. It's an equalising submission to Steve Gray.
And as soon as Johnny Kidd had the advantage, Steve Gray got things right back to level pegging. And as I said, Gray desperate to get things back to an even keel, desperate to catch up with that fall. And he did it in very short order in round 4.
This is London. This is London.
just starting round 5, and Johnny Kidd did not even make it back to his corner. Steve Gray, a good sportsman, he is not attacking the man while he's down. But Johnny Kidd may not be able to continue in this matchup. Referee keeping a close eye on him. And you can see he is clutching the lower back. And he is hobbling on the knee because that surfboard maneuver, that puts pressure on just about every joint in the body. Plus you have the knees in the back. And Johnny Kidd landing hard, back first in the turnbuckle. He is whipped across the ring, again landing hard on the back. And I'm not so sure how much longer Johnny Kidd can last in this matchup. And Steve Gray looks like he has got a clear passage through to the final of the Golden Grapplers tournament. He will be facing Yorgos should he defeat Kidd. And at this stage, that is looking increasingly likely. We are in the 5th round of 6. And Steve Gray bending back into that Boston Crab, putting more pressure on the lower leg, on the lower back. Kidd screaming that he refuses to give up. But I'm not sure how much more pain he can take. And our cameramen taking you right inside the action there, getting you a great view of the pain etched across the face of Johnny Kidd. But he has got so much pride, he refuses to quit. And fortunately for him, Steve Gray could not maintain the hold, stumbling back into the ropes and forcing a break. But Kidd not rushing back to his feet either. Steve Gray with a kick to the midsection. Kidd down on his back again. More pressure on the knee and ankle joints. And I think he's looking for a second. I think he's going for that surfboard maneuver again. He saw just how effective it was last round. And if he hits it this time, Kidd doesn't have a chance. Johnny Kidd submitted instantly when Steve Gray put that move on the last round. And if Gray can pull him back this time, then this matchup is absolutely over. And Johnny Kidd knows it. And he is doing everything in his power. And somehow he just avoids being pulled right back into that surfboard again, because that would have been an instant submission. 6 count there from Kidd. And fortunately for him, he missed that drop kick. And these two wrestlers are pulling out all the stops here. Backslide from Steve Gray. Here's a cover. And Johnny Kidd rolls through in the nick of time. And these two are grappling now. And a cover from nowhere again from Johnny Kidd. And Johnny Kidd is through to the final of the Golden Grapplers tournament, where he will face Yorgos.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's round 5. It's the deciding fall to the winner of the match, Johnny Kidd.
Well, Johnny Kidd scored the deciding fall, but he looks to be in an awful lot of pain. And that matchup has taken an awful lot out of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a superb wrestling contest, what about showing your appreciation, please, for Steve Gray?
Indeed, no shame for Steve Gray. He put up a world-class performance of traditional British wrestling here tonight. And he was unlucky, very nearly got a second submission. These two men absolutely evenly matched, very little in it indeed. And I'm sure Johnny Kidd would be the first to admit that he was very fortunate indeed on this occasion to defeat Steve Gray. Nonetheless, a big win here tonight for Johnny Kidd. He goes through to the final of the Golden Grapplers tournament, which you will see exclusively here on Capital TV. And fans, don't forget to stay tuned next week, the Battle of the Cornermen. Danny Garnell against Mikey Mendoza. Garnell put Mendoza out for over a month, and you will see the revenge matchup right here next week. Next week on Capital TV, Yorgos takes on Filthy Phil Powers. The notorious John Ritchie defends his championship belt. Plus, Mikey Mendoza gets the chance to get his hands on Danny Garnell.